Right, and this was the first year that the Bite of Seattle went completely cashless. So that's not just cashless in the sense of card only. If you wanted to order and purchase food at the Bite, then you had to download what's called the Check app. And according to consumers and also vendors who were at this last event, they all said this was the source of many headaches throughout this weekend. The event's name is called Bite of Seattle. However, the app used for ordering food made it difficult for any guests to even get a nibble of the festival.
It was awful. We've waited for 2 weeks to go to the Bite. We go every year, probably 10 to 15 years. We wait on this day.
That excitement slowly faded once her family made it to Seattle Center. They noticed fewer vendors in years past, and now to order food, they need the Check app.
So we download the app, took 10 minutes because the internet was really slow. So you download the app, you purchase the food, and then you move to one line and you tell them you've purchased the food, and then you have to get back out the line and go to the other line and pick up the food.
Fuller tells us the series of lines made for hours of frustration, not just for her family, but for others as well.
Every line was long. I've never seen the lines that long. Usually you can order your food and you can get it within 5 to 10 minutes. You think, okay, I'm getting lobster, or I'm getting some big ticket item, and it's usually quick. You don't mind waiting, but all of the lines were long and people were more confused on what line to stand in.
The Check app was designed to make it easier for folks at the Bite. According to Fuller, however, it only made a world of cashless transactions unattractive.
It was a total waste of time. We don't live close, so we had to fight a little bit of traffic. And, you know, my husband was so worried about the weekend and the traffic, and I kept saying, we're going to the Bite. We haven't had the Bite in years. I'm going to the Bite. So, but I will not go to an event that is working with the same system.
Vendors who were trying to sell their products weren't at ease this weekend either. They were also battling technical difficulties.
We never saw their orders, so we would have to actually look at their phones and then write down the order and send it to the back to have that order made.
Lori Green was at the Bite selling freeze-dried candy and ice cream. She tells us the Check system was supposed to keep track of everyone's transactions, but their numbers never added up.
We're short 102 of one item, and we're also short on the calculations around 40 to 50 of the other item. So I don't know what happened to those transactions.
Green knew it would be a cashless event, but didn't know the Check app would be unreliable for customers and her.
I can't see how one can fathom that end users can just walk in and use the system without any learning, knowledge, or training.
We reached out to the Bite of Seattle to ask what happened with the app and why it didn't work for so many. They then directed us to Check. And Check's CEO said in a statement, quote, "In its return this year, Bite of Seattle saw record-breaking attendance, a great lineup of live music, and an eclectic variety of food in an event free for attendees. There were also some key learnings regarding how attendees and vendors use the Check app and how we can better communicate expectations and processes around it. We appreciate all of the attendees and vendors who have shared their feedback and look forward to refining the experience for all in 2024. As far as the Bite of Seattle for 2024, Fuller says she will not return as a customer, and Green says she would reconsider being a vendor at the event if they allowed other ways of paying that do not include the Check app. And hearing from different people who were at this last weekend's event, it sounds like the app was pretty hit or miss. There were some people who said that the app actually did work for them and they could put their purchase orders through, but it really just depended on their cell phone reception and whether or not it was good or bad at that moment in time. We're live in Seattle. I'm Nikki Torres, Fox 13 News.